Ooh. Okay, let me turn that down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got it, we got it, we got it. Oh gosh, that's what that is. Sorry about that, guys. Make sure I got my. Can you?
And we back. It's
How about now? Can we hear each other now? Sorry about that.
Yeah, can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Hey, I apologize, chat. Yeah, it's been a while, but we're back. We are back, and we've got a couple guests with us, and you guys already familiar with my man JP here. But I would like to give a special round of applause for Aunt Jenny. Aunt Jenny is in the house. Let me make sure. Can y'all hear the clap? Can y'all hear the clapping or not? I'm sure y'all can't.
No, yeah. I was waiting for you to clap.
Okay. I have the clapping sound, but you know what? Again, you know, that's just the ebbs and flows of trying to get all this stuff to work. You know what I mean? Building as we fly. Hold up. Hey, listen, I'm gonna change my audio up. I want you guys to put a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay? Can you still hear me? You can still hear me? Yes. All right. How about this? Can you hear the clapping? Okay. Damn. There it is. All right. I apologize for that, but let's see. Hold up. Okay. We got the mic. Yeah. Yeah. Can you still? You can't. Okay. All right.
I can do without the applause.
Okay. Apologize for that, Aunt Jenny. I tried to, get the proper introduction here, but
it's okay.
I guess that didn't work out. But I'm sorry that we chat. I apologize for not being able to do the stream the last time we scheduled it. We had some things going on, but we are here and we are back. Jenny, how are you doing today?
I'm all right now. I had a couple of painful days, but you're lucky actually that I managed to do this today. So
I know. I am very, very thankful. You are a busy woman. You have a lot going on. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get this woman on the show one time. I got I gotta have you on the show, and I definitely gotta have my man JP on the show. Speaking of JP, how you doing, my man? How you doing, brother?
Doing all right, my boy. How about you, man?
You know, it's always a pleasure to have you on, dog. Always. We're gonna get into some things. I got a couple tips to go to, but before I do, I just kind of want to give a brief overview of what tonight's show essentially is going to be about, guys. So tonight's show, I was just thinking, I watch a lot of these videos and I get a lot of different perspectives. And one of the things that really caught my attention was this one video that I saw. It was produced by my man Chad O. Jackson. If you guys haven't heard of him, go check out his Instagram. Really brilliant man. But he was talking about whether or not marriage is dead. Are we in a post-marriage society today? And what does that look like going forward? Like, how are people, male and females, are going to interact on this in our society today? And what is that going to look like 10 years, 10 years from now? There's every incentive. I'm a man, and I can tell that there's every incentive for men today not wanting to get married. There's every incentive not to want to get married because it's a contract that you just don't want to sign yourself up to without knowing all of the risk. But on the other hand, our society is destined for destruction if there aren't families created. So, that's my synopsis about kind of what we want to delve into tonight. Before I play these clips, on Jenny, did you want to opine on that, or JP? Y'all can say something really quick, and then I'm gonna play these clips.
You're married, so it must be good.
Well, yeah, I'm married. However, families, if I got to send my daughters out into the world in a post-marriage society, what is that going to look like for her? What is that going to look like for anybody who has kids to try to explain and interpret the world, what the world may look like potentially in a post-marriage society? How do you prepare and equip your children with this information?
You lead by example.
Well, see, that's okay. And my example is to be married, right?
Right.
Gotcha. Easier said than done, Miss Aunt Jenny. Easier said than done.
No, I think that most people, once they come from married parents, they want to get married, especially if it's a good marriage. They want to get married.
Mm-hmm. Okay. JP, what's your thoughts?
I mean, as like she said, leading by example, but also when she said growing up in and with the family, with the marriage and things like that, and what it looks like, I think the problem is with the generation now, they don't have the parents that they can see what it looks like. So what they're doing is getting caught into looking at social media marriages that's planted there to make them look like, hey, this is the route to go, and everything is toxic. So when you say that it's dead, I don't think it's dead. It's just the unrealistic expectation of what you see on social media, or on the internet, or on these streaming sites that's not real at all. That's what you're striving for.
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
definitely not dead. It's
I
We're
don't
definitely
gonna
think it's
talk
dead. I
Okay,
don't
go
think
ahead.
it's dead. I think it can be revived, like a good old plant, you know? I think it's like a good old plant that's dying, but it can be revived.
But
Okay.
do you really believe that when you say reviving? I don't even think that is it's I don't even think that
Wait a
is
second. Damn it. We're gonna get into it. I want to play this clip. And JP, I don't know if I should. No, I didn't show you this clip, but I'm gonna play this clip. JP, I want you to start, and then on Jenny, I want you to follow up. But back to what I was saying earlier, this clip kind of highlights what I was saying earlier as far as there not being any incentives for men to get married today. And this is why. This is a very key component too. So, ladies, if you're listening, please listen up to this. Give me 1 second. All right, hold up. All right, here we go.
we can't hear.
Oh, you guys can't hear?
No.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. I got this. Audio. Boom. And then right here. Audio. Okay. Oops. Virtual output. There we go. How about now? How about now?
No.
Can you hear that? Can y'all hear that? Y'all
No.
can't hear that? JP, I played it you earlier. You couldn't hear it?
No, I mean I heard it earlier, but I didn't. I heard what you were
God.
playing earlier, but this wasn't the same thing.
Okay. I got you.
If you couldn't
All right.
hear the clap, you're probably not going to be able to hear that.
I got this. Okay. Hold up. Still nothing, huh? Come on, man. All right, hold up. Okay. 1 second, guys. Thank you for your patience. I got this. Audio. Okay, that's off. Cool. Then StreamYard should be getting this. StreamYard should be getting the 16. All right. All right. Yeah. One second, guys. 1 second. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, and you can't
Day,
hear the video?
and he told me that
There you
Yeah, we
go.
Oh,
can.
God.
There you go.
Huh?
There
Yeah,
you
we
go.
Oh,
can.
okay. All right, perfect. Here we go.
so I was talking to a male friend of mine the other day, and he told me that women don't apologize and women can't be held accountable. And I began to really think deeply about this idea. And one of the things that came across my mind is in the last 9 months or so of me being in my private practice, I have myself experienced many women, whether they came as a couple, or they came by themselves, they very abruptly discontinued their therapy. And I started to reflect and think, what was going on here? And I noticed that after I had to confront them about something, I had to bring to their attention something they were doing that wasn't contributing to the health of the relationship, they became very defensive and very, just very harsh, and they stopped coming. And even though the husband would continue to come, he made it very clear that, yeah, she won't apologize. She thinks you're wrong. She thinks you're taking my side. And I began to really reflect like, oh my gosh, is it true that women don't apologize? Is it that women struggle with being held accountable? I love your thoughts on this. Me personally, I think it has to do with a person's level of emotional maturity. What do you think?
Emotional maturity, my ass. Okay, hold up. All right. Okay, JP, you heard that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Let you lead, but I just want to say, so Jenny, I'm going to cling to what you told me earlier. Lead by example. And get out there and do the work. Others will follow. If you build, they will follow. Got you. My question is, with that video and how this woman is a therapist and she deals with female, male patients on a regular. This is her profession. And what she's noticed is a pattern of women not being able to to accept accountability for their actions, or even to accept any constructive criticism. So I say all that to say this: the how can I say this? The value of women today has diminished precipitously to the point of you can't tell them shit. You cannot correct a woman for nothing today. So if a man merely says, I want a wife, and I would like a wife to know her role, we already know that man's going to be shamed. That man is not allowed to have those standards, because in today's modern world, typically women don't embody those traditional standards. So I just wanted to say that, because I'm gonna keep going back to lead by example, and I'm only playing devil's advocate because I haven't taken an official stance. This is the whole reason why I got y'all on here, because I literally have been pondering this. So JP, you can lead it, and then Anjani, you can follow.
I mean, that's even starting off where you went at with leading the way. A lot of men also, when it comes to marriage, relationships, quiet is kept. We got to be honest too. On some men, a lot of men are not really leading to the point where, if you, like I told you one time before, a God-fearing man. Like, if you want your wife to walk into the modern life of the modern woman or God-fearing women under your covering, where some men are just not living that way like they're supposed to, but they're expecting the woman to. And a woman, like she said, is unaccountable. Women want an excuse to justify bad behavior and why they're acting that way. If she sees you still not moving in a certain direction of a leadership role, and it doesn't have to be
Who defines this leadership role, JP? Who defines it? Yeah, okay, see, Jenny, hold up.
It's not even, but as a man, Neil,
because is it arbitrary? Is that word leadership? That just an arbitrary term that we just throw around, depending on who the woman is, who the man is, that she can define whether or not he's leading. So she'll give him shit contingent upon how she views his leadership, right? Mm-hmm. So if she feels like he's lacking, and subjectively she feels like he's lacking in something, or he could have just fell and had a hard patch, a hardship or whatnot, because she feels like they're at a low spot, therefore he's no longer a leader, and he's not worthy of her respect.
Because she, first of all, she's delusional on what leadership is, because in this day and time right now, women are picking weaker men because women want to be in control, but they want a man to be strong enough to lead them. So in their strong era of this masculine attitude or energy that they already have this delusional mindset of that she's the leader, but she wants a man to take control, but she's being. I
don't know, JP. Sound like you caping for him a little bit, bro.
Bro, first of all,
just sound like you caping,
and that's fine, and you know I'm
not. Just sounds like you're giving them an excuse. There's no excuse.
I'm not giving them an excuse. I'm not.
Okay, hold that thought, JP. Let me go to Aunt Jenny, and then JP. I'm not even going to respond to Aunt Jenny. I'm gonna allow you to finish. I just want to hear her thoughts, so that way we don't dominate it. Go ahead, Aunt Jenny.
But that therapist, when you played that, I just thought to myself, here we go. Everybody's got to go to a therapist before they go and sit down. Why they go to a therapist? For a start, maybe the woman didn't need a therapist. That's just an excuse. That's just something you have to go through to say you're trying to work it out before you get divorced. Because the woman's up and gone. The man's still sitting there waiting. He's still going. So it's obvious that she's saying, oh, the women don't want to be accountable. No, the woman don't want to be married. Any woman that goes into a therapist and walks out, it's got nothing to do with accountability. She's just going through the motions. So I'm not one for marriage therapists and stuff like that. Because if they didn't have to go, why would the man still be going and the woman not be going? because she just going, because sometimes when you get divorced, they say, oh, you need to go and do this first. You need to go through this first. She's going for the motions when she's had enough. So I don't think it's a matter of accountability. It's a matter of that she don't want a therapist anyways. They don't need a therapist. She just don't want to be married to the man.
And
but what's the point of even why even participate? Okay, why even give this impression that you're trying to fight for your marriage? Why go through the motions? Like what is that about?
Because I've tried everything. I've tried therapy. Now we have to get divorced.
Oh, the woe is me. Got it.
And she's probably the one that initiated the idea of a therapist. No man is going to say, let's go to therapy. So that's what what I'm saying is, and it's not caping for him. It's again for a man. Yes, he would do anything not to break up his family and say, let's try everything. But at some point, the man has to stand firm and understand that woman does not want to be married. So that's what
Okay, and can I just say one last thing?
Yeah.
Ladies get married, not women. And men need to know the difference. Stop trying to turn women into ladies.
Stop trying to turn women into ladies. Okay, well then there you go. Then the obvious question is, where are the ladies?
Because the women don't ask the men to get married. The men ask the women to get married. So if the marriage is wrong, he's chosen wrong. He should do better.
Right. Okay. So, and I understand that, because you would place that same culpability on women if she decides to get with a man of low character, low value, and he's not an adequate leader to protect her or to be her covering. So, accountability to be across the board. However, JP, you said something about, I keep hearing this. Look, I'm a man and I'm always willing to accept accountability. I got it. But it's almost like men are still being held responsible for past and present mistakes of women. It's like no matter what you say, it always comes back, well, the man needs to do the XYZ. And it's like there's no burden of responsibility, no burden of the woman is not incumbent to make any sort of sacrificial change in her lifestyle, her mindset, and her personal pursuits. What I commonly hear Pearl say, and it makes perfect sense, is what does she say? She says, ladies, women, traditional women, place their families above their personal happiness. And how many women, ladies, where do you find that at today? Where do you find it at? Like, I'm like cultivating these traits in my daughter and my kids today is a challenging task, because I can only have an impression on them for so long. But when they get old enough to get out in that world, there's a societal impact. There's a societal cultural impact that breeds something that's not conducive to healthy relationships, healthy marriages. It's almost like you get out there and it's a killer be killed.
But we, just like she said, we have to choose better. Neil, we lead. If we just we don't have. There you go.
I'm married. You're married. So we did our part.
So even with that, like you didn't even beforehand. We don't have to deal with things that's complicated with the women. If they want to be complicated, we don't have to deal with it. Men choose to. But if all men stand firm and stand strong because they have to be sought, that's bottom line.
Stop picking up rubbish.
In today's time, Neil, women, there are some women that don't like talking to other women because they know that women just like to justify and
apathy is the agent. Apathy. Hold up. Apathy is the agent of chaos. So if you sit idly by and whistle past the grave while our society dwindles into decadent chaos, we just don't say anything. We just huddle in our own little group, our conservative, traditional value, principled group, while our society crumbles around us. it goes right back to what Jenny said. Lead by example. How are you going to lead the masses by example when the masses are they're impervious to any sort of criticism? They don't want to hear it. And right now the masses are unruly women who believe they are superior to average men. And I'm talking about average chicks who have this overinflated sense of self-worth. Like you can talk to them and you can just tell that they just full of themselves. But average women that
they only have a timeline this big, Neil, from 18 to 27, 28. That's the largest window that they have, Neil.
That's a lot of time to destroy a society, bro.
They start turning. But as a man, we still do what we need to do, because once they start hitting that 30 mark, that biological clock and that panic and anxiety starts hitting them. Right now, they're panicking, Neil. They are panicking right now.
This is crazy.
They are now.
Jenny, do you want to say something? Because I'm about to play the next clip. And
listen, right, what you're saying, you just sounded like a defeatist when it comes to talking about your child. No, I don't know anybody. I don't know. Yes, you do. You're giving up. I don't know anyone that has raised their children that when the children get old, no matter how much they mess up, they always remember a good marriage at home. They always remember a good marriage at home. You can see any one of these podcasters, the females that are out there that are going saying they're traditional, even the one that were divorced. They can always say they had a good example at home. Yes, I didn't follow the example, but then they remember and they come back. So it's still leading by example. My mum and dad were divorced, but they had a great marriage that I saw. So you just take the good bits out. And no matter what I went through, you'd never forget that. You'd never, ever forget that. I've got grandchildren, and I'm not going to think to myself, oh, no, because, their parents might be divorced, their parents ain't together, worries me. No, because I want to lead by example. And they know. And I know that I'll give them enough ammunition and they'll be so proud of themselves and so stable in themselves. They can go out there and be in the world, but not of it, just like me. And you're saying that, oh, yeah, we got to change all of this. How do you start running? By putting one foot in front of the other. You start walking first. Same thing about changing the world. You're not going to change the whole world. You might change little communities. People out there, other religions, they have little communities where they build their communities of traditional people. So why can't we as Black people? Why are you saying, oh, no, are we going to have a little conservative here, a little conservative there? That's what they did back in the day. That family stayed together and they were traditional. This family stayed together. And you know what? Those two families got together, made bigger, more powerful families. That's the way it worked. It works with every other society, every other religion. So why not Black people?
Okay. All right. Next clip. Look at Jenny trying to put me in my place.
As usual.
You gotta come at me like that, Jenny. Why you gotta come hard on me like that? Dang, I'm just talking. Good
I don't know any other way.
All right. Here we go.
Average man and average woman stand next to each other. You know what he has on you that you don't have on him? Time. You got between the ages of 18 and 35, or between your first menstrual and 35 before you hit high-risk pregnancy. After 35, you cross over to high-risk pregnancy. After 40, you cross over into really no man's land effectively. A man can be in his 60s and still, if he has the resources and the ability, he can still marry younger, even have kids. Doesn't matter what a lot of women say, well, them young women don't want you, whatever. Men don't care about all the things y'all think they care about. Men, we know you don't want us resources anyway, so the fact that you got to spend resources to get a younger woman, yeah, welcome to manhood. So what a lot of sisters need to recalibrate is looking at this as though we're your equals.
All right. Before we get into that, it's got a couple stats here in America in particular. So, okay, so check this out. So the Black male median earnings in this country, what do you think it is, AP? Without looking, don't look.
Say that again.
I said, what do you think the Black male median earnings are in this country?
Net earnings?
Yeah, I guess. Don't make it complicated.
Tell me.
You said how much? A year annually.
annually?
Just take a
You
guess.
said the average man? You said the average black man?
Yeah, the average black male median earnings.
I'll just say just for peace sake,
Jesus, man, hurry up.
I
How
say
much?
65.
Is that 65? What do you think, Aunt Jen?
I would have said 45.
Yeah, that's it.
45.
Actually, it's
really?
46. It's $46,065 a year compared to $60,428 of the average male as a whole, the populace. Now, what do you think the median earnings are for the average black female?
Well, yeah, it's gonna be flipped then. It's gonna be
What do you
anywhere
think
from
it is?
It's gonna be 65. It's gonna be 65 to 7. It's gonna be 55 to 65 for the woman.
What do you think, Aunt Jen?
What he said earlier, 75.
Yeah.
It is $36,695.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. These are stats. Blackdemographics.com, chat. Check it out. These are all census. This is all accurate information. What is your impression of that? What do you think about that? Start with you, on Jim. Because let me just say this real quick. Because what we're told is that men aren't leading. The average man is weak. When we know inherently what men are supposed to do is provide and protect. So it seems to me that a lot of men, I mean, because if we really want to get into it, you know, only a small percentage of men are responsible for the lion's share of the children in the black community in particular. If we're really going to go there, most of the children are being sired by a very small population of men. And actually have a that I wanted to show y'all, but I don't think it's really related, of this very situation where a guy had 87 kids in Mississippi, just busting them open. So what I'm saying is the average man is not having a child. He's not creating a family. He's not having children all over the world. He's not being loose with his seed. Yet he's making more money, and he's making more money than the average black woman, you know, the black community in particular. So when we hear this notion that men aren't black men, or we just stick with the blacks, when we hear this notion that men aren't leading, men have not learned their lessons from their forefathers, their uncles, their grandfathers, and things like that, and you see a course correction there, what is your thoughts on that? I mean,
I just think that's why women are in a lot of debt to keep at that lifestyle, because they can't afford a lifestyle that makes them look as if they earn more than the men, and they're not. So I can understand now why the women have the most debt. They're living above their means, obviously.
damn right. JP, what you think?
And I got to agree. I got to agree with her on that. Bro, like they hold a lion's share of debt, and it's crazy because even with women, you know, they have that mindset that they can do without a man. But if you look at women have
go ahead.
more means, the more means to money. Like they have so many more streams of ways to keep getting income. They have child support. They have a sugar daddy. It's some guy or someone, no parent, no relative is going to feel, they're going to feel sorry for a woman. Like, oh, if she comes with a pity enough story, she can get $40-$50 from somebody. She's going to always be able to get $1 out of someone. Every time that she spends what she wants to spend, she's going to always be able to get help from somewhere. It's no doubt. So if even in the marriage, a woman does not understand, or a relationship, she knows in her mind there is going to be somebody else out there that even in the relationship, they step out. They have some other guy that can buy them food, that can do whatever. So they think it makes you, the man, a weak man, feel insecure about himself. And he's thinking like, I'm not doing enough. It's like, no, bro, you can't compete with the other means of income.
They're chasing a lifestyle. And tell me right now, what the hell do you think a woman will do to that man when she can't have what she wants? What do you think she's going to do to that man's character, his masculinity, his manhood? How do you think she's going to respect that man if she's not able to attain what she's drummed up in her mind, this lifestyle? How do you think that plays out in real world?
I mean, it's the man. First of all, if that means
there he goes.
They're not built the same way how they used to, of letting society keep making them think that they're losing. How can she break your spirit if you really, really know we really are? We even like the black and white thing. We're not the minority anymore. We are the majority, but we keep hearing that we're still the minority. Like at some point.
Whoa! What you mean? We're a majority. 13% of the population. Black people are.
Trust me. Listen, if they got to keep pandering to us, begging us for our support for something, if we such a small number when they have the amount us and immigrants, bro, like especially the black community, we take a lion's share.
I don't know about that, JP. I hear what you're saying. The black vote is very it is essential. I hear what you're saying.
Just like we thinking that they making more money than us, dog. It's the same thing. It's again how strong of a mental that we are losing.
So see, here you go again. It always comes back to the man. What what his mental fortitude is. It's always the man. Damn it. Aunt Jenny, come on. Can you just tell me something other than it's the man's fault? Damn. It's always the man's fault. Always. We're just never going to get over this.
Who's supposed to lead? If a man's leading, listen, it's got to be the man's fault. Because I always tell the men, if you see a woman, right, and you don't think she's the type of woman that make a wife, why are you being with her? Why are you sleeping with her? You're choosing, right? They say, oh, women are the gatekeepers, but men choose. The women are not out there having sex on their own. The women are not out there. You said, oh, yeah, all these women are having all these kids with a minority of men. All the men's got to do is say no. Start refusing rubbish women.
But okay, but Aunt Jenny, don't you see that happening?
The men are choosing. The women
but
are not
what's
choosing.
happening? But Aunt Jenny, don't you see?
You've already lost.
But listen, okay, and you are absolutely right. Absolutely right. Because a woman should not be in a position of leadership where she's choosing that man and the man. Got you. Totally there with you. But don't you see a response to all of the things that we just talked about so far by the men to just completely remove themselves from taking women seriously or signing up for marriage? Like with the marriage rates declining, birth rates declining, the society, like regardless of what we're talking about right now, we're heading in a direction. That's what I'm saying. And it's based off the numbers.
You're saying marriage rates are declining. You're saying children's rates are declining. How do you know that's not just because men are being more fussy?
Oh my gosh, Aunt Jenny, what? Okay, let me play this video because tell me if this is fussy. Tell me if this is fussy. And JP, if you're not feeling this, then you know what, man? You a caper. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Why it isn't easy for a husband to just leave. And for context, I'm going to provide a scenario that's more common than you think, but isn't spoken enough on social media. You have a couple that's been married for 10 years. Both are employed, they own a home, and they have 2 children under 10 years old. Throughout the course of this marriage, this woman has belittled her husband in front of others, friends, family, and their children. She's always making comments that he can never do things right being her way. She describes him as a third child. She doesn't respect him. She dismisses every viewpoint he has, and any opinion he has in the house, she totally dismisses. And this has been going on for years. But this man is a dedicated father. He loves his children. They are the only thing that bring him joy in his life. Every day he looks forward to putting them to bed and kissing them and telling them goodnight. He will do anything for his kids. So why doesn't he just leave, to answer your question? Because he knows the things that bring joy in his life, he'll hardly see them again. Maybe once or twice a month. He knows that you may use the kids to torture him or maybe turn them against him. He knows he won't be able to kiss his kids every night and tell them goodnight. He knows he may be a stranger in his own. He knows another man may move into his home and raise his kids. He knows he may be financially ruined and won't provide a safe home for his kids to live in. And he knows he's going to have to walk into his kids' room and tell them, mommy and daddy, you're going to get divorced. That is why most men will sacrifice their happiness. That is why it is not easy to just leave. And with the scenario that I just described, why should he be punished? Why don't you leave instead? Why
should he be punished? That's the question.
He married her. He married her. She was always like that.
Oh my God!
How many red flags
She
did he
is so
see?
cold.
Come on. Once you're dating her, she goes to daddy, she wants this. You're dating her, she wants more. You're dating her, the restaurant's not good enough.
Damn.
You're dating her, you have to step up the restaurant. The car you drive is not good enough. Your clothes are not good enough. So you as a simp man, you fall into place. No real man is going to stand there. You think I can raise my voice to my man? And look what she's doing to him. So obviously, I'm going to say again, he chose wrong. She was like that before they got married. The women don't turn around and once she got a ring on their finger, they miraculously change. She has always been like that. You know who we needed to ask? Her father.
She ain't got one.
Sometimes when the father...
She ain't got one. There you go. She ain't got one.
When the father turns around...
She order like that. That's why she got order like that.
Oh, wait. Hold on. So Auntie...
She's married and she's spoiled. And anything she wanted, the dad was there. They're married. Right? She grew up in a mother and father household. She's spoiled. While they're dating, if the car needs fixing, while they're dating, she's working. She'll go to daddy.
She called
whatever
daddy.
she wants, she go to daddy. All that man did is replace the daddy and spoil her. And then she throws a tantrum. You married, he picked from, she was always like that. I bet she was always picking it in bit by bit by bit by bit. How can you just get married, all of a sudden the woman's suddenly talking down to you in front of people? It doesn't happen overnight. So yes, I'm going to say it again. He chose wrong. He shouldn't have married her.
But the problem is this.
So messed up. That is so messed up.
When they start, this is the problem.
Y'all are so messed up.
When they started out,
there's no empathy for men in this country, in this world.
Because when
men are not allowed to have any sort of grace. That's what it comes down to.
Listen, when they first started off, and he knew she had a father, he was chasing that ghost of trying to be daddy and be better than daddy, and he had with her daddy. And
you think that's the majority of relationships right now?
We're talking about that now.
You think that's the majority of relationships where fathers are just pacifying their daughters, mollycoddling them, and treating them like a princess? Fathers are not even in the homes anymore. So let's talk about the majority.
The replacement. The fathers, if the father's not home,
whoa, hold up, JP.
And they want to be the father replacement. All the things that she wanted to do. You know, I will take her to go and buy her ice cream. Daddy never done that. I'll take her on a holiday. Daddy never done that. I'll take her to a concert. Daddy never done that. They even want you to call them daddy. Come on.
Okay, so are you implying that men should not select women that don't have fathers?
I'm saying don't select women, select ladies.
Okay, so because you saying something without saying something. Okay, so what if they don't have? What if fatherless daughters are not ladies? That's what you're saying.
My mom and dad got divorced. My dad wasn't at home, and I pride myself on being a ladylike, especially when I was with my man. And I won't think about answering back to a man. Any of my male friends, I wouldn't do that too. Yeah, I went out and I see women wearing lingerie as they wear. Men love all that. They go for it. And then when the woman turns out to be a 304, as you call it, they wonder, what, you met her like that? What good woman are you going to meet in a nightclub? Go church. Go to your mosque. Go wherever you go and pray to your God. And you might find a good woman. We gotta have a good foundation to be a good woman, and if the dad's not there, she needs some kind of holy father because somebody needs to have a good foundation.
I just think y'all ignoring the realities of it all. Y'all just like for example, in the black community, 80% of women are overweight. I'm just saying what y'all are describing is a very
stop looking at them and admiring them. Stop saying how the booty looks good. Stop it, because all you're doing is encouraging women to get more weight.
Those are the simps. Those are the simps. Those are the simps doing that.
No, I'd say most black men.
Like JP was just looking at Jocelyn, calling her thick.
Oh no, she's too fat. Don't say she's thick. Don't say she's fluffy. She's fat.
That's what I said. I had to tell him. I said she's not thick. She's fat.
From the video that he was showing, I said, "Damn, look at her looking thick."
Right there, you go. That's all she needs. That's her. That is her dopamine hit. That is her dopamine hit right there. All you got to do,
you, not to her.
I know you didn't say it to her, but I know you said it to me. But you are representative of a lot of dudes that'll be scrolling on Instagram and just, oh dang, she's thick. Let me hit that like button. Boom, 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 boom. Come on, man. You should have said what it was. She was fat as a house.
That don't mean that I can't look and it. See, my thing is this. I don't need.
See where we combating out here?
I don't need you to send me a picture. I don't need nudes. I don't need to go stroll social media. I'm a ghost follower. I like to stroll, look, admire, and move on. Just move on. I don't like to keep videos or pictures in my phone. Delete. I like to admire it at that moment. Let it go. Because that is only a pigment of my imagination at that time to put me in a position to do something I ain't even supposed to be doing. Or
I mean, you might like pork chops, but it doesn't mean he wants to eat the whole pig. He just ignores it.
So I mean,
but that still reinforces. Okay, so you may not be taking it a step further like a lot of simps would, but there are a vast swath of men who would reinforce her delusion by telling her she's beautiful, she's thick, she's thicker than a sticker. When it's like, no, you're fat.
Because daddy never told her how good she looked. Daddy never told her she was beautiful. Nobody
because never had a dad.
But again, men are replacing what they know broken women.
Okay, again, it comes right back. So it comes right back. It comes right back to men having to shoulder all of the responsibility.
I've been to the strip club 3 times in my 33 years of living. And every 3 times that I have went, when I tell you that is the most hardest game that I've watched men spit to a woman to try to
wait, what? At a strip club?
At a strip club. When you can, I have seen men in that same girl's ear all night, and she's a stripper. When I tell you, they are going based on, again, that reinforcement that you're saying, that's not to make them feel good to marry them. Most of those, I
get it. I know that there's a distinction. Women don't know how to make the distinction. That's why I'm telling you, average women are overlooking average men because they have an overinflated sense of self-worth by way of the simp reinforcement that they receive on a daily. And so they think they're above this threshold of men, and so they're overlooking the average guy. And my thing is, men are starting to notice that, and they're responding accordingly, and they're saying, you know what, recreational use. That's all it is. I'm just saying we are debilitating, descending into a pretty secular kind of primal, I don't know, society right now, where people are not even they're appealing to each other's base instincts. That's why women wears scantily clad clothing now. I mean, you see women, they're doing that more often and more frequently now, because it's like, as opposed to having a genuine conversation and, you're getting to know me and let's XYZ, let me just, show a little booty, show a little ass online.
Oh, Lord.
And the men are like, hey, recreational use.
The men need to up their standards. Why would you want to have something for recreational use?
When
why not?
Men need to start refusing women. If she's not good enough to bear your children, she's not good enough for marriage, she should not be good enough for you to insert your penis into her, because you're supposed to look after your body. And that's supposed to be one of the most precious things on your body. Look after it. You won't go sticking it in a hole somewhere, put it in a bin. So why go put it in garbage?
But
you're asking men to like totally disregard their intrinsic desire. Like, you're telling us to completely.
Yes, I am. I'm saying if she's good enough, if you love a woman that much, marry her, and then she's yours forever.
But it's further than that, though. It's telling you, as a person that is supposed to be followed, we first have to protect the energy that we are going to start to pass, and that under the covering, she's going to be under our covering. We have to have that peace. It's called dick discipline, first of all. That is what you got.
Yeah, no, I understand that. The Bible even says that it's better to marry than
Marry.
burn with passion.
So,
Yeah.
And I understand that.
So it's not.
But
it's
we're not. But okay. But we're speaking for the masses. Y'all are talking about. Look. I'm just playing devil's advocate right now because I know as a Christian man that you're supposed to exercise that discipline. You're supposed to have some more prowess to resist temptation. I totally agree with that. I'm just playing devil's advocate in regards to what our society is going to look like because not everyone is a Christian. Not everyone is moral, and everyone has their own sort of way of life. What is looking like at large is that women are becoming decadently worse and men are just responding to what women are doing. And I hear what y'all saying. Men need to step up, set standards. Men need to step up and be the leaders. But it's like, how are you going to lead over someone who doesn't want to follow? So it's almost like these women have to die off.
Yeah.
They won't though. Why?
But if the men stop sleeping with them, well, because they weren't sleeping on their own, all they're gonna end up with is somebody who's transgender.
Yeah.
Wait. What? What? Wait. What?
Men stop sleeping with the women.
But what he's expressing that and what he's expressing is,
that's cold.
I think that where it's coming from in the conversation of where he's coming from is the fear of who are we gonna have? Because if you saying that the women are going to settle for a transgender or each other, because at the end of the day, they are going to still circle back. If the transgender thing, that's going to be, some of them is going to experience that. But there are some women out here that still want real men. But the men that you're talking about, Neil, are the ones that they keep running into, not because because that is also within the women. Also, they still can't get over.
Wait a second. Pause for a second. Aunt Jenny, do women pick? Do women choose?
I know some women that do. Some men allow them to. Some men like to be picked and chosen. Some women, and not only that, sometimes the women picking the men don't even know that the women have picked them. Because all the men are looking at that booty, the breasts, and the women know that. So it's sort of like, I'm going to allow him to chase me and catch me.
Women know from the get-go before hello who their mark is. They know from the jump street.
Ain't that some stuff?
It is our job not to talk ourselves out of it. That's the issue. But you have to show now that they're choosing you by them approaching you. But we keep falling in line of falling that hook, line, and sinker. Just the eye bat that she get, and here we go. And she's already told herself, I'm just gonna smile at him.
So you're saying that men, okay. So it's incumbent upon men to not succumb to their sexual urges.
That's the wrong way to choose a woman if it's just sexual desire and urges.
But if men are not married, but if we're not, see, that's the institution that marriage is supposed to do. Men are supposed to sublimate, channel all of this aggression that we have to get out of our system, and through bearing the responsibility of a leader in a marriage, within the confines of a marriage. You're supposed to take on that responsibility and channel that into your marriage. But that's not happening. So that's why you're seeing, as a result,
because you're channeling it from sexual desires and from lust.
But if men are not able to find a wife, a suitable wife, right, a dutiful wife, in the meantime, I hear what you're saying. Practice, exercise discipline, but just to the young masses out there, to the guys who don't have that direction, don't have that leadership, are just aimlessly going about. What are they supposed to do with all of that built up, pent up frustration and aggression?
Work hard, save their money, get their own property, work hard, put your aggression into building yourself, go to the gym, make yourself look buff, go to work, push some weights. Anytime you fancy, like you're feeling sexual urge, go for a run. As I used to say in the old days, go and lift the car.
Bro, that's and that's what, and you know that people keep saying they use fast
and abstain from sex,
huh?
Yeah. And abstain from sex.
And if you are going to have sex, be extremely fussy.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Be extremely fussy of who you're having sex with. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Why are you going to have sex with someone that's had sex with loads of other people?
Yeah.
You know, why you want to have sex with someone that you haven't spoken to for like get to know her for like 3, 4, 5 months? Why do you have to rush into sex?
Right.
You know, it should all be about the build up to it, you know, the lead up to it. And then you'll find out, you know what, it might be like she can't cook. You know, she can't clean.
And
you know, her house is untidy. I know men that go into women's houses and the women just say, oh, hang on a minute. The men can see they're kicking all the stuff under the bed to hide it, but they still go there. And then if you go with her, you get married her, you expect that she's going to change overnight. That is how you met her.
But shouldn't men just accept what they get? I mean, in this society right now,
women don't. Women don't. Why should I?
You said
why should you as a man accept what you can get? That's pitiful.
Men should accept.
I'm just saying, do you think there's more traditional women than modern harlots today?
Yes, because listen, you know, like when you're in school and it's always a naughty child that everybody notices, because that's the child that gets all the attention. The quiet child in the back of the classroom hardly gets noticed. The one that sits there and does their work hardly gets noticed. But the one, just because you hear the name all the time, you hear the person's name all the time, it doesn't mean it's for a good reason.
One bad apple. The one bad apple, yeah, I know, right?
But no, it's not. It's the other way around now. It's the other way around. There's loads of women that go out there making a load of noise. But if you look deep down, you see there's some quiet ones there that, you know what? I can't even keep up with them. Let them make the noise. I'll just hold my corner.
Yeah, but they ally with the degenerate ones. They don't. I'm telling you right now, Aunt Jenny, the way you are so direct, the way you are so openly truthful, and you tell the unvarnished truth, you rarely run across women that are willing to do that. Just based off the video we saw earlier, women can't even be accountable.
Where would you expect to find a woman like me?
She said.
Where would you expect to find a woman like me?
Passport bros.
Where would you go? You'd either want to go abroad, and women are women wherever you go. So just because you see women abroad, they're all the same wherever you go. Right? It's just the way you look. Maybe your pickers off, as I say. Your pickers off. You're not going to find a woman like me in a nightclub. You're not going to find a woman like me in a supermarket on a Sunday. A woman doing the shopping on a Sunday, or a woman in a takeaway place on a Sunday, that's a no-no. Her are supposed to be at home cooking. Maybe in church with her family, with her dad, with her grandparents, working. That's where you find them. You're not going to find a woman like me wearing what I call hoochie mama clothes. You know? So you need to, there's a lot of things you need to look for. So it all depends on where did you go and find this woman. If you found her in a nightclub, are you surprised at how she turns out? Look where you found her.
So let me just try to sum up everything that I got so far. So it's incumbent upon men that through the earliest stages in life to build themselves up, to work out, to become, physically fit, financially stable, and to abstain from sex until they find a woman that can reciprocate similar values, that has the mind of a traditional woman, and something that ideally she wants a family. She wants to be within the confines of a marriage, and she's willing to submit to your leadership. Are you saying that's what men should do?
A man needs a woman that he can train.
There you go. Malleable, coachable. Can you speak more on that, Aunt Jenny, please?
Yeah, a man needs a woman that he can train. My man said to me, he goes, oh, you're getting there. I'm going to turn you into my perfect woman.
Because that's what daddy will do.
And it's damn hard. But yeah.
That's what daddy will do. Daddy's going to give you structure.
Yeah. That's because that woman is supposed to, she's supposed to customize herself.
My dad made sure that I can cook, I can wash. I had chores. Children nowadays, especially girls, they don't have chores. I mean, they've even got my granddaughter, she's been doing chores since she was 2 years old. All of a sudden, she watches Disney. Her mum said, I don't know what's wrong with this child. She's 6. Her mum said, you're going to clean your room. She says, I am not Cinderella.
Right.
That's what she says. And that's the women's attitudes. The women's attitudes are that now, like, why am I going to clean when we can get someone to do it? No, you need to train your woman. There's no point in you not training your woman and then complaining how she is.
Mm.
You know,
that word train is akin to that.
But your
I don't think the women are going to receive that word too well, on Jen.
That's their
I don't
business.
think that.
I mean,
they train the children.
I mean,
they train. I'm going to use a fancy word. Training is training. The women need to be trained. Listen, right? Think about it. A man, you just said the black men earn more than the women, right? And if the women are out there, they look like they earn more than the women. That man needs to train her. So, like, I want to know like what your finances are.
Mm-hmm.
Before you even think about getting married, you need to think, are you in any debt? Why are you going to get with a woman and then complain when you married her that she was in debt? You should have known that.
Let me I'm gonna say it real quick before we play this last clip. The chat, I got few folks in here a little upset, perturbed with me for not reading the chat. Guys, I can't put it up on the screen because I'm having some issues with StreamYard. It's not reading the URL, whatever. So I'm just gonna read a few of these chats and then then we'll move on. Deborah says, primarily from Deborah. Thank you, Deborah, for your support. By the way. Men and women, ladies, need to change their priorities on relationships and marriage. Men need to have more discernment when choosing a helpmate. Men, good grief, Deborah. Men should stop choosing a woman by her look, choose a woman by her virtue. Men need to start choosing women by their virtue. I agree with Aunt Jenny. Hold on, let me go back. Golly, Deborah, you're being slightly biased, don't you think? Well, a man needs to go back to the order of God and things will fall into place. I agree. But, damn, Unwoke, you moving on the YouTube streets? Yeah, I am. Thank you so much. Today, people think everything's supposed to come easy to them, and that is not the case. Anything, including marriage, takes work and steadfastness to be successful. Ego is what is keeping them from apologizing. I have no problem apologizing. Let me see. I had this exact conversation with my daughter about her boyfriend's relationship today, and suggested that they seek counseling. Am I wrong in this? She says he won't do it. I say ask. What do you think about counseling, Aunt Jean? Do you think men should even sign up for that when a woman suggests doing that?
I think it's not a rubbish.
You said no?
I think it's just a way of getting money out of people.
I agree.
I think once you know that you need counseling, that means you can sit and why am I going to go and talk to a stranger about my problems? If you can't talk to your man, you think I can really say to a man, oh, we're having problems, let's go and talk to this person and be like, what's wrong with your mouth? Why can't we sit down and talk ourselves? And if you can't talk, then you might have a really good friend or an older person you can bring in to mediate. But
right.
Nah, I agree. That's like a no. He did just look at me and say, you're off your head, you're in this new modern life that you're living.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I mean, to be honest, I mean, most of the counselors, therapists today, they're all females. I mean, they're all women. It's all femme-centric. So you're going to be 9 times out of 10, you're going to be sitting down talking to a woman about your problems, and she's going to more than likely side with the female perspective. And if you get a man, 9 times out of 10, he's freaking neutered, and he's a beta male. Let me read a couple more.
I had somebody come to me for what do you call it, sort of counseling, and then I had to tell them don't bother because they were defending the woman, and they didn't like. They thought I was being really harsh. That was the man. It was just him that wanted it. He wanted to sit down and have a consultation, and then he started saying, "Have you ever heard about talking therapy?" I said, "I'm talking. It's just another word for psychotherapy. I am talking." And he didn't want to hear it. He told me that his woman was a God-fearing woman. And then he sent me her, is it her IG ID or whatever it was, her profile? No, she's not, because no woman of God would dress like that. And he got offended.
There you go.
Yeah. And so I said, well, take your money somewhere else. I don't need it. Bye-bye. I haven't got time.
Damn. So you kept it real with her, kept it real with him, and he couldn't handle the truth, basically.
Yeah. And you will find that they just go to these counselors because the woman will go to one because she mostly has to go, or she just wants a woman to side with her, or the men will go because they're just simps. It's like, oh, I have to. My man ain't going to no counselor.
Yeah. Suzanne says men and women would recognize that they are all individuals in their heads and learn how to speak how they feel to each other without feeling less than. Relationships would go a lot smoother. Laugh out loud. I had all my children by 30. I'm 50 today, and they are all over 20. I'm ready for grandchildren. Okay. Neil, isn't the pay for women of any color lower than the man to begin with? Wait, what? I'm not sure what you're. Okay. There's also scripture that says it's better to spill your seed inside of what? Whoa, that is better to spill your seed inside a prostitute, really, than to a corrupt girl. Jenny, very true. Okay, a couple chats you're gonna have to reiterate and rephrase, Deborah, because a couple of them I couldn't really make out what you were saying. But nonetheless, let's move on. I'm gonna play this last clip, and we'll close out from there. Here we go. All right. Let me just pull this up. JP, any thoughts, my friend, before I put this up?
Nah, man.
Right.
You're trying to give him a hard time.
JP is he's in agreement. He's in agreement. We usually don't agree. All right, here we go. Oops.
Do you think, Emma?
Of marriage? Oh, I think it's the best institution for families, but I think the government ruined it.
Yeah.
If I was a dude, I would have a really hard time getting married.
It sounds like it fucked. Basically.
Yeah, I would. It's basically like a bailout for a woman's bad decisions now, because like no matter what I do as a woman, like there's always a bailout. If I sleep around, become a single mother, the government bails me out. If I get married and decide, you know what, I'm not feeling it, I'm gonna leave my husband, I can take half and the kids and put on child support. Like it's like whatever women do, we're always bailed out.
Do you think, Emma?
All right. So, as I stated at the beginning of this beautiful session, are we in a post-marriage society? What is it going to look like 5-10 years from now? And what do you think we should prioritize or incentivize within our judicial system and within the laws to be changed in order to incentivize men to get married? Because what I'm hearing, and from me personally going through some things myself, do you think that in order for men to really get back into the mind, into the mode of, and like you said, everything taken in consideration, you build yourself up, you do your thing, and you become successful, whatever the case, and then you get out there and you go find yourself a wife. But do you think that it is I don't know, particularly smart for a man to sign up for a contract that doesn't benefit him?
You said it doesn't benefit him, and it doesn't benefit him if he chooses wrong. If you go out and buy a car, look how much research a man will do into buying a car. Why not do all that research into getting a woman?
Yeah. Listen,
but wait a second. That doesn't negate the fact that the laws are still going to
but
favor.
As the business owner of this contract and agreement and business decision that you're about to make, any smart man will research this business that he's about to invest in. But that means, again, we don't know how to match. We don't know
the business is projected. The business is projected to do well in 5 and 10 years, right? Business is projected to do absolutely astounding. However, the contract between you and said business is flawed. Would you still sign that contract in blood?
No. You're going to sign a contract unless you look through it, and you're not going to go into a business where you can lose half of it. Yeah, that's a bad gamble. You're not going to go and say, I'm going to run this business and I might get 50% back. You're not going to do that. And not only that, everyone's talking about all these laws. The laws are all made, all them stupid laws are made by stupid simp men that listen to really masculine women. All the stupid laws are made by women. And that's where it all went down. Once the men started listening to the women and having all these laws, allowing them to vote and allowing all this abortions and allow them to have to go to work and allow them to have to pay tax and everything like that.
Yep.
It was the men.
But you know what?
Women
but you know what?
Make these laws. So the men need to take back the laws.
And you know what? I said this 2 lives ago.
That's deep.
About white men, how they have become the softest men in this world that allow women to do this, because as the leaders of the world, as the lawmakers, they let women come in and became very weak to caping for the women. But when I said this, Neil chopped my ass up the last time.
No. I agree with that. I absolutely
go back on the live. If you go back on the live, him and the chat ate me up. ate me up. Oh, there you go.
JV,
it's white man's fault. No.
Okay, listen. If I disagree with that, what you just said, I humbly apologize, because I 100% wholeheartedly agree with that.
When your
women represent.
When your homeboy came on with Dylan, what was his name? Yeah.
Jenny, were you about to say something?
It has to be the white man's fault, because the black men they didn't make the rules. They didn't make the laws. So why are you allowing the white man to ruin your black lives? Why are you allowing your children to follow these laws? Why are you doing it? I've got 3 grandchildren. None of them have received a vaccination. One of them hasn't even got a birth certificate.
Wait, what a second. Are you a sovereign citizen or something?
No, I'm hoping that my grandson will be the first in the family.
Oh my gosh. Wait a second. So are you suggesting that we just wait. But come on, let's be practical here, Jen. That's not possible. When you're here in America, you got to follow the laws. I mean, what do you expect people to do?
You can be in the world but not of it. You can follow the laws, but you can live in a way where the laws don't affect you. And that's why you concentrate on yourself and build yourself up. And then you know where you're coming from.
Know the rules so you can break them intelligently.
Yeah.
And that's our problem.
And that's what I mean. That's what I passed on. I didn't agree with the immunizations from my son. I passed on that knowledge to him. He researched. None of his children, the oldest one's 7 this year. 3 grandchildren. None of them have any injections. Yes, they want them to. They're his children. No, they won't. The last one's a COVID child. He hasn't got a birth certificate. Oh, he won't start school. Oh, yes, he did. I'm trying to see how we go about getting them a passport and then travel the world without a passport, without a birth certificate, because it can be done.
It can be,
and it will be done.
But we won't research it. It takes too much time, and if it's gonna take too much time, the Western culture is too lazy.
I think if any man decides to research into what the laws currently are in regards to marriage and how a woman can utterly destroy you, that would absolutely repulse that man from wanting to sign up for that. He's not going to want to do it.
What you need to do is the same way how it comes to our houses and our taxes and what we do with our money. Check out how the rich white people do it. Check out and see how they cover their money. Right? Check out, because I even found the other day that what's that woman's name? Beyonce's daughter has been on the payroll since she was a baby.
Of course.
And tax breaks and stuff like that. Why are we not looking at these people and learning that way? Because I'm sure there's ways that where these people, they get married. Why can't we
generate what? But
why can't we get a prenup? What's stopping you? Because the woman's, you don't trust me. Well, no, I do trust you. I'm just covering myself. So, you can't have it both ways, because you know that if you go and you're a Christian man and you talk to a Christian woman about a prenup, you might as well not get married, because she's going to be up in arms. Or she's going to say it's insulting. Or she's going to say, don't you love me, or don't you trust me? And then, you get some women out there, especially of the white people, they were like, oh, prenup, okay, fine.
Bro, it's not even bad. It's not even wrong to ask for a DNA test. Uncomfortable conversations.
I agree with all this.
Uncomfortable conversations is the problem in the black community. You're afraid of offending somebody and how somebody's gonna view you
Snowflakes.
and how they feel about you. So asking for a prenup, asking for a DNA test, all of that stuff as a man, stop being afraid to ask for.
What I want to know is how come people start asking for blood tests? Years ago, they used to have, before you slept with someone, you'd say, "Excuse me, can we go and get you tested?"
Get tested.
They don't do
That's
that anymore. How many people
you're
that they got
right.
married
Yeah.
and never got tested?
yes.
Yeah. Strangely enough, I think like our generation, the millennials, we were like the last vestiges of that particular period of time when people used to ask that. Because I remember like that being a thing once upon a time.
Yeah.
Now it's just like bust down and bust open. That's all.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
And that's the reason that's your question of how it's gonna look. I mean,
I think if men do their research and learn to protect themselves, then they won't feel like everything's on them, because it'll be quite easy. And I think that once it's quite easy and that you listen to Auntie Jenny, you've got no problems with your children going out there in the world, because your children ain't supposed to care about what's in society. They're supposed to care about what's in their home.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Don't let society influence your life or your children. My grandchildren come to my house. If it needs a battery, it needs to be plugged in, they leave it behind. Because nothing's going to get charged in my house and nothing's going to need a battery.
But Jenny said like 55% of the voting block right now. So they're voting in all these crazy psychotic laws, and it's only going to get worse because listen, they're legalizing some of the most degenerate, immoral behavior. They're like legalizing, they're having legal protections behind their craziness.
You're allowing them to do it. Black people are allowing them to do it. Why don't they get off their ass and select their own person? You know, he said the young JP was saying about how, you know, we're the majority. We're in the majority if we get off our backside and we stick together and vote. We're the only culture that don't do it. The only thing that black people are going to win an award for is dancing, singing, and wearing good clothes. Because nobody else can beat us at that. And athletics.
Damn right. Athletics.
So why can't we all join together? You know why? Because whenever you get a black person up there, they always get carried away, and you end up thinking, you're not supporting me, you're just doing it for yourself.
Yep. There you go. Well, it all look, I'm telling you, because look, it all went downhill after the 60s when the woman decided to choose the government over the man. And she basically exactly what took place in the Garden of Eden. She listened to the devil. And next thing that happened is now we are suffering the ramifications of that decision from the 70s, from the early 60s to now where it's kind of like snowballed into the stuff that we see happening with women today because they are
men
uncovered.
Listening to women. Still boils down to the men. The women didn't come there and change laws themselves. They just started, withholding sex from men. If you don't go and put in for me to vote, you're not going to get nothing tonight. They started burning their bras. Who cares? But the men cared, and that's where we're in now because of simp men.
Oh yeah,
simps. You know what I call them? You know what I call it? Beta males and Jezebels has destroyed our nation. Beta males and Jezebels.
All you got to do is take your nation back.
Yeah. Well, before I close it out,
children. That's what I think. Start homeschooling your children. Start withdrawing your children and your family from society. Start building your own societies. Because there's no reason. I remember years ago, single parent, and rather than, because I know there's people paying out there for day nurseries. When they can somebody's got a big house, and why can't you get your house organized and do your own black daycare? But everybody's paying out this money. All it's going to take is one qualified person to stay at home, maybe look after 6 children, and that are bringing in income, and you know what your child's being taught. So I don't do anything. All you got to do is just keep yourself out of it. I just say go solar panel, just go totally off grid, teach your own children, teach them to cook, clean, grow your own vegetables, and just let them have social media or TV or whatever for like 1 hour a day. Let them know, go and cook, eat some dirt at the back, make some mud pies and climb a tree.
It used to be like
Yeah,
that.
well, I mean, I hear you. That's why I have and I will continue to advocate for the Great Reset. We're gonna have to, there's gonna have to be a divide between those who want to live in a moral, steadfast society versus those who want to perpetuate degeneracy. And we're just gonna have to separate. I mean,
Everybody says.
that's
Everybody says that. I've heard that word so many times this week.
it's gonna happen on Jen. It's going to happen. It's inevitable.
It's like people are just expecting like this is gonna happen just like this. No, black people are gonna have to get off their arse and work. It's not gonna happen just like that. The Great Reset starts with people like you, people like him, people like me. That's how it's gonna start. It ain't gonna be like something like it's just gonna happen gradually. It might take generations, but it's gonna happen.
It's not
only if we be strong.
It's not gonna be one social media post and we scheduling. Okay, today, guys, we about to start it today. We all have to.
Why not? Let's start right now.
I already started. Use it
because it's a personal thing. If everybody work within themselves, they light gonna shine within other people. We keep worrying about other people's outside lives, everybody else's household. If everybody's household is structured with morals in the same way, it won't look foreign and weird to the other people. It will look the same of everybody's built off of the same thing. But
moral ethical,
what that person do, but we have to get self together. If everybody worry about self and stop worrying about how everybody else is coming together,
personal responsibility,
we will start coming together as we better ourselves. But if everybody has the same mindset of what elevation looks like, feels like, then we will not be on. We'll be on one accord, but we still have to just focus on self.
Do you realize, right, that in the 60s when it was all good, and it wasn't no BMP or whatever it's called, BLM. It was in the 60s when they held out Black Power.
Oh, the Black Panther.
It was all about brotherhood, loving each other, building up each other. And then you can see that we were getting really strong. And then we had stupid people to stop us. And then tell us, no, you can't do that. You're better at singing and running and rap music and all that kind of stuff. We need to get back into those days. Yeah. Into the brotherhood days, sisterhood days. That's what we need to do.
That's really going to require families. It's going to require families. It's going to require families. And I promise you, out of all the women we talked about today, the black woman is like the leader of destruction right now. The black woman is.
But the family can't start from the seed without us, though, Neil.
Don't even start with that. Don't even start with that.
Start the family. If you saying that the families can't stay together, don't start them. Because we are the ones that will start them.
Listen, JP,
for her hand in
these women need to keep their damn legs closed and stop producing all of these bastard children.
They're not having sex on their own.
Without a penis.
Okay, but what are we talking about here? We just going to ignore the fact that women have 26 forms of birth control and they can protect themselves too.
And if they don't, women have all these forms of birth control. I keep on hearing it. If the women have all these forms of birth control and they're not using it, you have one. Don't do it.
Don't do it. They can't.
Wait, say it again. Say it again.
Women have all these forms of birth control and they're still not using them. Men have one. Just don't do it. That's the only way you're going to guarantee don't.
I am trying to realistically see a world where men absolutely just suppress their biological urges. I cannot see that.
Biological urges. It's about being really fussy. It's about looking at someone and think, I'm not putting my penis in you. You're not worth it.
I mean, the threshold is pretty low for a dude to, it's not really much. I mean,
that says a lot about the men. The men
JP, women have a better tolerance. Listen, that's what I'm saying. This is what the world we're living in right now. Women can just attribute the way they can attribute.
You kept saying you're going to keep reiterating what she said at the beginning. They have to follow our lead. We have to lead. The reason why they are not suppressing their urge is because they know that we can't.
What he basically said about the men is that they're weak, they have low standards, and they have no forms of self-control.
No. See, there we go. See there, that's that's the shame tactic that women use against men. Because if that's the case,
but you said the other day, bring shame back. You just said
no.
I'm seeing it as a strong man can refuse a woman. I'm saying
that's
it
what
as
I'm saying.
I know a man with strong morals can refuse a woman. Say no, I don't want it.
I just understand why does a man have to be demonized? Why does a man have to be demonized because he wants sexual variety? He doesn't have to be irresponsible. But if he's not being responsible, I mean, if he's being responsible with it,
unless we create a slut, they can't. We are the hoe makers, the slut makers, the baby makers.
Okay, but women control access to sex to keep their legs closed. Men wouldn't get it. If the women had higher standards,
well, just because the men opens up, we gotta follow through. We gotta see it.
See what I mean? This whole podcast, y'all just put it all on the men. Nobody says anything.
Right, is that women do have higher standards because they say women sleep up.
Say it again.
They always stay up. They always go higher than themselves. The women. So obviously, it's the men's standards that are low. So why can't men have higher standards than women?
Because they
no.
A woman's not going to go over a man that's below her. She always wants to go over a man that's above her. The men are quite willing to stoop. Why on the man going?
But women have women are terrible assessors at where they fall in the sexual market value. They cannot determine themselves whether or not they qualify for that high caliber guy. But what they will do is let me give him some sexual access, and then I will confuse it in my mind that I am at this guy's level when she's a base level average woman. Should be going with Derek over here that works at Walmart as a supervisor. That's what I'm saying.
But then we keep giving her that false notion that what she's thinking is real then. Because they're
not raising their standards for marriage. They're raising their standards for sexual access. And for a man, in order for a man to get for a man to impress a woman enough to get into her drawers, all he needs is a wad of cash and a nice car.
Can I just say something? Right? As a man,
that's raising your standards, then come on.
As a man, I want you to I know you're both married, but imagine that you wasn't married. Right, and there was a woman that was way above your standard. Do you really think that you can get her? There was a woman that was above your level, class-wise, financial-wise. She was above your level. Do you think that you can get that woman?
Men know we can't. No. We're better assessors at where we fall on the hierarchy. Women are not.
Well, the thing about it is, a woman is.
You mean to tell me Lizzo walking around with her freaking? I mean, never mind. Go ahead, JB.
So if you use Lizzo as an example, yes, any one of us can get Lizzo, because look what the type of in the society and the culture and the community.
Lizzo will overlook both of us,
bro. How?
I promise she would.
So you line up any celebrity women, and you look at the boyfriends or look at Nicki Minaj. She did not find a man higher than her. Look at the culture and the music that they're
pushing. She's been ran through. Her value is lower than what it was.
There are certain high value women, depending on, because it's never going to leave out of them who they are. There's high value women like that who make, well, not even high value, but high earning women like that will find weak men to stand on, because they're always going to feel like the man will not be able to overthrow her. But when you look at if you look for a lady and a woman, she's going to make sure that she's chosen by a man that already has what he has going on, and he will choose her, and she just comes and follows along. A lady that she's talking about, she waits and be sought from a man that she knows has things going on. Nicki Minaj, Lizzo, or a high earning woman will go out there and find a man because she wants to be the leader. And any man that allows that is weak.
I agree. I don't know. Y'all are a lot more optimistic than me. I don't know. I don't know. I see it for what it is.
Could be.
Huh?
I've got 3 grandchildren. I have to be.
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 daughters too, and it's just.
You don't sound
I'm
as
telling you.
optimistic as me.
You know what? The thing about being cynical is that you're always right eventually. You're always right eventually when you're a cynic. And I hate to say that because I promise you, at heart, at nature, I am a optimistic, cheerful, believe in, always see the silver lining kind of guy. I've always been that way my entire life. But in this regard to marriage, I just like I said, I just look at black women and you see what how they're presenting themselves. If like they're literally presenting themselves on a market, and how they are presenting themselves is what they think about their men. They're thinking you should accept me for how I am.
Do you know what I find really strange is that the women that I hang around with bear no resemblance to the women you're talking about. My group of friends in England, they don't bear no resemblance to the women you're describing.
Well, I think
I've come here and I've seen women like that, and I know women like that, but my circle, they just.
But Aunt Jenny, but think about it though. Think about it though. Why would you surround yourself with those type of women?
I used to, because those are people that I grew up with, and that's what I mean. Sometimes you look around you and you think, I've got to separate from these people. Okay, and so there's women out there that you can watch. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Men need to learn to sit back and watch a group of women, watch them, and then you'll see. There's always going to be some that eventually they're like, no. There's always one standing back. There is.
I mean, I don't understand that it doesn't take much just to sit back and just chill and just watch that this happen.
People watch. I love to watch people.
And that's one thing that I do it. I love about myself though. I got time. Like I got time. But in the world right now, people don't have time. I do.
And you know something, right? Huh? Women do that a lot. Women people watch. That's where they can pick the men. Because they know they can turn around and say, this is the kind of man. You know, I know if I do this, or I know if I do that, or I can tell if he's a strong man. I can tell if I'm going to get one. They know. They will study you. Women are quick like that. They would just study a man. And then they're a lot
more socially calibrated. Yep.
And they would make you come over to them and you think, I've chosen that woman. No, you ain't. She set you up. And all you need to do is just sit back.
Yep.
And just watch. And there's people watch.
That's what I'm saying. But go ahead, JP.
If you want to get a man, the men these days right now, if you want to kill a man, you want to set a man up, send a woman at him. Right now, the men are so weak, just like you were saying about just the lust. They're pushing in society with media. It's so hypersexual. And that's the problem.
Yeah, y'all saying go out there and find a wife in the midst of all of that. No, that's what y'all saying.
You don't go out and find them.
We see my grandchildren. There's 2 granddaughters. They're not allowed to wear like mini-me clothes, like mini adult clothes. And if they've got a dress that their mother's bought or their grandparents have bought, they know that there's certain clothes that they wear shorts underneath. You know, they've learned that, and that's how they're being raised. And nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. I've got all confidence in them. Because I know the kind of person that I know. I know the kind of person their dad is. And I know that the mother, she will step into line because she has no choice.
Let me ask y'all this. Okay, so I know both of y'all have heard of the girl, the girl that was sheltered by her family, or the preacher's daughter who was basically raised in a traditional home, and she was inculcated with values, principles, morals, ethics, and all that stuff. Father, family did a good job, intact marriage. Then she goes out into the world, college, what have you, and she gets bust wide open. I know y'all heard of those stories where these women feel like they've been sheltered their whole lives. And they exemplify.
I'm not a fan of children. That's the problem.
Huh?
You're not supposed to shelter children. I was about to say that when you said you had 2 daughters, I was going to say, get your wife to take them out and show how she has fun, because there should be nowhere that she goes that she couldn't take her children. And you'll find that if you have people like the pastor's daughter, the one that gets busted open, it's because they've made outside seem like, whoa, it's somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I don't
Okay.
believe in that. I take my grandchildren wherever I go. You know why? Because they might hear some people cussing, but you know that's what you can tell. And I'll point out. See how that woman's doing that. What'd you think about that? How would you feel if grandma act like that? How would your dad feel if I act like that? How would your dad? You know what I mean? But I was overprotected. Wasn't allowed to go out to friends' houses. Wasn't allowed to go out or anything like that. So I know how it feels. But you need to take your children with you. There's no reason why you can't take your children with you. Why can't you take your children when you go out? Why are you gonna make the outside world seem more attractive than your life? So if you've got children, you should be able to take them out and have fun and be able to, like he said, you can also sit back with your children and observe different types of people and point them out. And that's what a lot of the pastors don't do. It's a God, 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 God. And then that's the world, the scary world out.
And you got to be honest too.
Bars.
Most fathers back in the day that sheltered their daughters like that is all from insecurities of scared of karma coming back from what they did. And they're also raising their daughters in fear that they don't run into a guy that they used to be or who they still are.
I went everywhere with my dad.
And that's the problem. But you weren't sheltered.
Yeah, and I mean that's the difference. So I learned a lot about men. I went out clubbing. Even as an adult, I went out clubbing with my dad.
But men feel scared to be honest with their daughters. And because of thinking honesty, they're going to take. But again, there's not enough covering from men within their household when it comes to the woman and the daughters, bruh. That's all it is. And that's what we're lacking. Because if you're going to try to shelter your daughters and make the outside world, every man is bad, every man is going to dog you out, every man is going to lie to you. At what point can she start to believe that how are you any different than what makes you separate yourself? Because now you're spending so much time telling her what
it's going to become the shiny object in the room. Yeah.
You forget. No, because you forget to give her the things that outside man is going to say to her, do for her, that daddy never did. You're so worried about trying to don't get that, don't do that. You're not going to be doing the small things for your daughter. That dog that you're trying to get her not to find, he's going to start penetrating the daddy issues that you got. Even the daddies that's in the house doing those things, those little girls run into daddy issues.
Because I never understood when people say, call me daddy. And I've already got one, thanks.
Yeah, it's daddy issues. It's daddy issues.
Wait a second. I mean, you know.
I used to go with my dad. I used to go with my dad as a child. I used to go with my dad as an adult. I used to go out and see women try and pick my dad up. And they'd always buy me stuff. And I remember I was about 12 or 13. And I said to my dad, that woman likes you. He goes, how do you know? I said, because she keeps on buying me drinks. She keeps on buying me snacks. You know, and I said to her, I remember when she was giving me money and I said, excuse me. She goes, yeah. I said, I don't like you for my dad. I said, don't think that you're buying me all this stuff because you want my dad, because I'm going to tell him no.
Damn.
How was that girl?
Really?
You know?
Cock blocking daughter?
Yeah.
Dang, that's cold on Jen. Why would you do him like that?
Because I didn't think I'd let my dad's standard. And even though my mum and dad were divorced, my dad always said he married one woman, he'd never get married again. And I should just let these women know that. My dad still loves my mum. He's never going to marry you. 20 years later, I was right. He still didn't marry her.
Damn. That's cold. That's cold. What,
it's not cold. It's having the confidence as a woman, as a young girl or a woman who knows what a man's all about. And that's what I was saying. When you said that you're worrying about your daughters, no, take them out with you. Take them out with you. Why can't you take them out? Let them see how it is. And my dad used to run a nightclub. And I remember it always used to give me trouble. And my dad said, when you get to the door, just look. And I used to just walk to the door and say, look at my face. Do you know who I am? They were like, okay, that's the door that are in. And that's how much confidence I had. Because I knew that I was okay with my dad. Nothing in that club. Nobody can do me any harm because my dad was going to look after me. I wasn't scared of the world because my dad prepared me.
Oh, there you go. I mean, unfortunately,
your children like handbags. Women used to carry handbags before. My son was a handbag child. Now men have got bags. Treat your child like a bag. Pick up your child.
I agree. I just think, unfortunately, a lot of women don't have the privilege of growing up with a father. I mean, that's
why we start with people like you who have. We're thinking about the future. I'm not thinking about people my age, 30s and all that. I'm thinking about the ones under 21, the ones that are at home with their parents.
So we need to put a PSA out right now that everyone who's 30 and above,
you're on your own. You're on your own. If you worked it out by now, it's too late for you.
Damn. At 30 years old, it's over?
Yeah, you just take what you can get at 30.
I mean, you can tell that what the music, anything in media is predicated for the youth. I mean, she's not saying anything that you don't already know. 30 and older listening to some of this stuff that the industry and social media is giving, we have no business following up with that.
I know.
Look at what that lady in the chat said, that Deborah Morris. Look at what age she is now, what age she had her children. Now she's enjoying herself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And for all the single parents out there, no, I've got no sympathy for them. If I was a single parent, and I would say, good, if you have one or one set, if you have twins, after that, you're single parent 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
Just sick of excuses.
Yeah.
I had one.
Oh my.
Let me listen. I had one. He's 30. Actually, UK time, he's 38 now.
His birthday was yesterday.
On the 11th. He's in the UK, so he's ahead.
Oh, he ahead.
Yeah, so he's 38. Still the same one child. And like she said, now we can sit back and enjoy the grandchildren. So if you're 30 and you're still going on that strippiness, I ain't got time.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. So, okay. So, yeah. Well, that's just where we're at. Because I'm trying to just reconcile with the fact that so many people are just going to have to figure it out, and a lot of folks are going to be out of luck. Sounds like, because the current data market is a cesspool.
It's messed up, bro. Because I never forget. I told you this when me, you, and Bloom was on it. And again, this is the same shit that you said. That I mean, it's reiterated. I appreciate you, Auntie Jenny. Like,
thank you.
I done said all of this to this man.
Wait a second. I had to play devil's advocate. Remember, as I already let you guys know, I am a Christian man.
I was messed up. Okay,
listen, because figure
it out on their own.
This is what I was saying at the jump, because I was just saying that, realistically, how we're going to move forward as a society if we're in a post-marriage society. And what it sounds like, what I'm getting from you guys, and what I believe too, I just don't know how much I think it's true, but it sounds like there are still some relatively, there's a nice crowd of people who still want to get married and still embody traditional values and want to have families. Sounds like y'all saying that that's still the element out there, and there's still people who wants to pursue that, and they have to take necessary steps to make that happen. So anyways, let's close this out. Aunt Jenny, JP, I want to thank both of y'all for taking time out y'all schedule to do this. I really appreciate it. We definitely got to do this again. This was great. I think the synergy was well. Like I said, I had to play the devil's advocate because there's the numbers just don't lie. I mean, and I promise y'all, whether y'all want to hear me or not, I think we all just agreed, because I said I think it's just going to lead to a post-marriage society, because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to have to figure it out, and I don't think a lot of men past age 30 and women are going to want to sign up to get married. I just don't think that's going to happen. It's going to leave a lot of aimless, crazy, maybe fluid, polyamorous relationships. It's going to be some weird stuff happening within the next 5 to 10 years.
That's
I
one
think.
way of cutting down on society and the numbers because the world's overpopulated. Think about it.
Say it again.
I said the world's overpopulated, so they say. So that's one way of cutting it down.
Oh my God. I can't believe you said that.
Another subject for another day.
All right. Okay. Well, yeah,
It's true,
population
because the way
control.
things are going now, nobody be having babies because same-sex marriages, the men that give up on the women. It's,
Yep. And,
But
the
children and the families that will be there, they'll be select and they'll be strong.
And these transformers are starting to supplant themselves in the black community and take over the black woman's post. So, and I'm not saying that men are like flocking towards them. I'm just saying that the black woman is so easily to replicate today with that look and that attitude. It's so easy to replicate. And they're calling themselves black women. So, someone that out there. Nonetheless, thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. On Jen, we'll catch up. JP will, holler at you in the back chat. But y'all have a good night. Thank you guys, chat, for watching and tuning in. I know it wasn't a big crowd tonight, because YouTube messes with your notifications when you don't go live for a while.
Thank you.
So, yeah, but thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And woke yourself. Peace out. Boom. Let me just end this live. Hold up, y'all, before y'all leave. Okay, here we go.